affecting weather where you live. Meteorologist Mike Davis from the Doppler 10 Weather Center.
And it is totally different out there this morning. Yesterday, we had 30s, we had a couple of just barely in the 40s, and today, it's 60. Gotta love the consistency. East wind at 6, humidity about 47% here to start the day. Around the outer belt, mainly 50s to around 60. Port Columbus, of course, being the warm spot. Lots of 50s around us, so a very mild start to the day. Kind of a hot afternoon coming up. Next couple of days, we're going to be pushing 80, and we're going to start to flirt with that risk for severe weather again as well. We'll talk about that coming up. Meanwhile, all mid-50s off to the east. Lancaster 54, Newark and Mount Vernon 55. Delaware can match that. 56 in Marysville, 54 at London. So all kind of in that same basic vicinity this morning. Temperatures around the state, mid-50s up north with the exception of Youngstown at 50 degrees. Coming south, cool spot is Portsmouth of all places at 47. Little bit of clearing there early this morning. Meanwhile, we're heating up again. There is a chance for a few storms late. The scenario today is storms developing well off to the west by a cold front and then kind of self-perpetuating and rolling our way late today or perhaps early tonight. So the severe threat creeps back in with that. Storm Prediction Center, we were talking about Wednesday, but they also put a good chunk of the state under a slight risk today. But some of this is an overlap, and some of this is anticipating those storms will hold together and roll through late today. Although our rain chances aren't particularly high, the storm risk is there. Live Doppler 10 radar, there's been some sprinkles off to the east. There was a whole band of showers. Now, it was fairly convincing off to the north, but the stuff that looked like it rolled through here never got a foothold. The air was just too dry for anything to actually come close to the ground. So as we look at things, we've got clouds here. There are some patchy areas of clearing down south. See that right there as you get down into Scioto County? That's one of the reasons it's cooler down there this morning. At the bus stop, readings in the 50s. Sunrise now advances to 612, partly to mostly cloudy. And then, boy, the heat is on as we go into the day today. 62 at 9, 73 by noon, and 80 by 5. Little bit of a southerly breeze as the afternoon goes on. And when that system comes in, the main threat is strong winds and possibly some small hail once again. As we look at the regional picture, you see those areas of showers moving off to the east and then back to the west. There is a little bit of clearing, so we'll have a mixed bag today. Call it variably cloudy. As we look at the model, pretty quiet this morning. There's moisture embedded in the air, but not a lot of it actually going to manage to hit the ground. So we may see a little break in the cloud cover as we get into the middle of the day. It starts to thicken up as we get into the afternoon, but these are unconvincing echoes. There's some moisture to work with, so a pop-up, a possibility late. The model doesn't like those overnight chances particularly well. It starts to fire things up off to the north. We'll keep an eye on that. In fact, next time around, I'll show you a completely different model that shows a little bit more of a scenario early tomorrow morning, and then it kind of fills in as we go into the day and passes on by. Well, actually, I'll show you now. I have them both loaded. Here's the other model. You see just a chance through noon. This isn't very convincing, these light green echoes like that. Slightly better chance as the air becomes more saturated going into the afternoon, and then we get a bit of a lull. Now watch what this one does. Off to the north and west, you see that area of showers and storms beginning to bloom back here. It starts to roll in, especially to the north in the overnight and into tomorrow morning. And then here, the chances do develop as we get into the day, although the model kind of breaks it down as it moves in. That threat is there as we go into the day tomorrow. Couple of days near 80. That's a cold front coming in tomorrow. That's why there's a better chance for showers and storms there. Cools us off a little for Thursday with a high in the low 70s. By Friday, possibility we could be back in the upper 60s, and then we rebound. Boy, I tell you what, the end of the week looks absolutely beautiful. Low to mid 70s for Saturday and Sunday, and morning lows are going to be in the low 50s.